Hey, fabulous listeners. It's your goddess, Chanel Perillo, back for another Shut Up Chanel, the podcast where we dive deep into my LGBTQIA plus journey, celebrating the queens who have not only influenced me, but have become integral parts of my story. And today we've got a powerhouse, a sister, an inspiration, the one and only Eureka O'Hara. Eureka is not just a queen. She's a force to be reckoned with. From strutting her stuff on season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race to snatching the crown on the Drag Race Holislay Spectacular and showcasing her charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent on Drag Race All-Stars 6. Eureka has not only conquered the runway, but has become a beacon of strength and fabulousness within the LGBTQIA plus community. Beyond the sparkly runway lights, Eureka has raised her voice for body positivity, breaking barriers, and reshaping beauty standards. As a fierce and confident woman in the drag world, Eureka O'Hara embraces her identity, challenges norms, and showcases the diverse facets of femininity through her drag. So buckle up and don't tell me to fucking shut up. Just subscribe to my Patreon and you can tell me to shut up there. It's at Patreon/ShutUpChanel. And buckle up because Eureka is here.
Shut up, Chanel. Shut up, Chanel. Chanel, shut up. Shut up, shut up. Shut up, Chanel. Shut up, Chanel. Shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, Chanel. Shut up, shut up. Shut up, Chanel.
Free the neck, honey. I'm giving my like Jimmy Moore fantasy right now from G.I. Jane.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yes, honey. She's the queen, honey.
You know,
Let me just do a little.
Demi Moore had no idea the impact that she was going to have.
Honestly, Jimmy Moore got stung by a bee, and now I'm her. So
explain to the listeners why you're checking out your hairline right now.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say that I'm checking out this lighting one because I'm at a desk. So if you're seeing this visually, this is what you would see on webcam in the middle of the night when you're having like your late night like webcam sessions. This is the face you would see.
I'm just so excited for you and this new life. How long has it been since you've had hair?
Oh, I just got my head shaved literally 4 days. This is not my continuance look.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Could you imagine? She's like, so how long has it been since you had hair? Yeah, so I'm actually starting from nothing. This is all growth. Could you imagine? Like, every inch of it is brand new.
So how long have you really been a bald queen, Eureka?
I'm a part of the bald brigade. Isn't that what they call them?
I think so.
The bald bitch brigade or something.
Oh my God.
So I have never been a part of the bald bitch brigade. I've been a part of the balding bitch brigade genetically, but that's no longer my gender. So I'm going to say, women lose hair too. I don't know.
They do every single day. And you're a woman.
I know,
so you're a fucking woman. So
I did, yeah.
You fucking did.
It's weird because I'm just gonna talk about it. So these lines here, before it was like all blacked out and it looked like little devil horns. And I was at a meeting and someone was like, oh my God, I love your tattoo. And I was like, do you think I'm that kind of tweaker that I fully have devil horns tattooed on my fucking forehead, bitch? I am not that girl. Okay.
No.
I have never been that tweaker girl. I've never even hit the pipe. Don't get me crazy, honey. I've done drugs, bitch, but I ain't been that far, honey. I ain't went that hard.
Devil horns on your scalp.
I said, oh my God, you really think I'm cool? Like,
I would too. I would be like, you think I'm as cool as I think I am.
Right. Like, bitch, I cried getting an elephant on my ankle. I can't imagine getting a tattoo on my head, on my scalp.
Devil horns.
I said, maybe they're cat ears? Meow.
Yeah, I could cat
They're
lady.
like, they're my live-in Halloween costume from here on out.
Yeah, no, Easter's coming up. I
Thank
think
you.
I think Easter's this weekend. So if I feel like this podcast won't be this weekend, but if you're listening, you'll appreciate that joke.
Yeah, but just so you all know, we are filming this at Easter time.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, welcome to Shut Up Chanel. I wanted to compare us finally meeting because we're just those type of friends. Like we get each other's mental health. Like if I say like today is
Yes.
not a good day, you're like, oh, take all the time you need, girly.
Yeah.
Take all. And same with you. Like if I knew I felt like if you were busy, like no, we could just move it. But
Yeah.
the buildup of today, like I feel like this is like we've been texting for months and like now we're finally gonna
know.
fuck. Like we're finally fucking.
I know, honestly, no, it makes me think of like the edge is fully there, and I'm like, I don't even really know what that feels like anymore. I'm so hormoned out of my mind.
Yeah.
So I enjoy intimacy in a different way now.
Okay.
So, yeah,
You
but
want
no,
you want to feel connection.
honestly, I just want someone that is going to enjoy sushi with me, watch the same shit I watch, and stay in their motherfucking side of the bed.
Yeah.
Like, bro, just let me cuddle with my dog. Like we can cuddle in the beginning of this experience, but at some point we roll over and enjoy our own pillows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's the like 5 minute cuddle just to know I have someone
Yeah.
in bed with me and then like release me onto my side of the bed.
Because girl, once I get in bed, I don't know what happens. I become like it's like releasing the Kraken, bitch. Like I become the monster of the Blue Lagoon. I'm either like suffering from like post-traumatic sleep apnea or I'm fighting ninjas in my sleep. So you better watch out.
Oh my God. No, I dream of having like a bedroom one day that like the bed is the whole room.
Oh my God, I had literally had this same thought.
Oh my, maybe we're supposed to get married. Lesbians.
Oh my God. Listen, I'm down. You can have sex with whoever you want. I'm about emotional connection. And don't bring anything home or anyone. That's the
But yeah, a full size room that's like all a bed and we just like fall into it. I love that would probably make me want to be next to you more. You know what I mean? Because I have the option.
if you give me so much space that I could be in the other corner, but I choose to be in the middle of the room with you watching a movie that is suspended to the ceiling and we're Roku TVing on this, I would die. I mean, that's love. That's romance.
Oh my God, a
Mama.
ceiling TV. That also I feel like I've heard of a celebrity having one of those, like Sia or something. She has it like on her ceiling, which I think is
I
so.
think I would feel safer with a projector though. Would you not be nervous that
In California, yes.
like an earthquake comes, the next thing you know, it's like, ah! Like you're under the TV.
I always think I'm gonna get crushed, especially because I'm in the first floor of my building. Like I'm just always like, I'll just get crushed. Like obviously
Oh,
things
you
are
are
gonna
on the
fall. Like I would be the. But I think I just run out to the street. Like I have this like oh the earthquake's coming. Like run out. I've even thought like can I kick out the window and just dart out the
yeah.
window?
I know the earthquakes don't make me as nervous, except recently I did see like a video of Michelle Visage and Dawn from the latest season, and like an earthquake happened during. And for some reason, like during this interview, right? Like a what you packing, I think. And for whatever reason, like a flash came through my mind. Like, do you remember those like conspiracy theorists that were like, California is eventually just gonna break off and fall into the ocean?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that was like that's a thing, right? That's a
I think that's a
conspiracy
thing. Yeah,
theory.
I've totally heard that.
I'm like, what if it's that moment? Like, and,
What,
and
during Michelle's what you bag in?
did you see the fear in Michelle's eyes even when the earthquake? And I think that she's a Virgo, so I have a feeling that she processes things like I do. 'Cause I'm a Virgo too.
Wait, I'm a Virgo.
We're all
I'm
Virgos.
a Virgo moon. Cancer
Moon?
rising. Yeah, I'm a
What's
Virgo
your
moon.
sign now?
I'm a Leo sun,
Leo.
Leo, Virgo, Cancer.
Wow.
So I'm
I need
like
your
really
advice on a
outgoing.
Leo. How do you get a Leo of power to love you back? Asking for a
Me?
friend.
Oh, like you like a Leo?
Like a Leo. No, not like I like a Leo. Like I work with a Leo, and I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnection
Okay.
because of I'm like so Virgo, but I'm also enamored by the fact that Leos always are so presentable. You know what I mean? Like Leos are always so well put together, and they do have that like little bit of a demeanor of like I I know I'm slightly better than everyone I'm around, but I'm not gonna say it out loud. So,
It's not even
so
that we
how do you,
think that. That's the worst part is that my Virgo and Cancer are like constantly fighting with my Leo sun because
it
uh
has to.
yeah, it's not that we like think we're better than everyone else. Like we know. No, it's
Yeah.
like an
No,
intrusive
Leos
no.
know they're better to a point, but then you have like the other signs that are like, but are you?
Yeah.
And of course, Cancer's over here, like, but let's talk about it.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
Virgo's like, but let's go through every phase of your life to decide whether or not you are the shit. Yes.
That's the problem. Like I think having a Virgo and Leo in the same, it's just like, and I'm Virgo, my Mars or my Mercury, my Mars, my Mercury is in Virgo too.
Retrograde.
Yeah,
Sorry.
which I guess is like your
Okay.
house of communication. So I give off this like I'm better, but it's like I almost can't like my like I don't talk the talk. I strictly just walk the walk. Like when it comes time to
Yeah, no, you give
communicate.
the energy and the look of I'm better, but you have like the insecurity of the Virgo energy, like vibe, which it actually is very endearing about you. I will say, Chanel, that's the thing, is because you definitely present yourself well. You come cunty poosey poos, and then like you do have this like swag about you that's like, I know I'm fabulous, but I also might not think it 100%, so it makes me relatable.
Yeah, like
So honestly, you might be the best of all the planets.
like yeah, I'm like but I just need to hear it 10 times from you a day and then I'll believe it.
Please, please
We need
tell me
validation.
again.
Please. Or like literally 2
Oh
hours.
my God, validation is a nightmare.
Validation is such a
Validation is a
nightmare.
nightmare.
It's a nightmare. I know. And it's so easy, but it's so easy for us to get it externally that like it's so hard to remind yourself to give it to yourself. Like I'm really trying to pour into my own cup this year to help that little Virgo out inside of me.
As you should, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been pouring into my cup a lot, and just not alcohol anymore, which
I
is great.
I love
But
that.
um, yeah, I don't know. I'm a zero sugar soda drinker, so that's what I pour into my cups.
Oh my I mean, I will drink Diet Coke till I die. I'm just gonna go on the record today saying it. My grandma is 93 years old and still has 3 Diet Cokes a day. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's two things that I want to still have on a daily, and that's a Diet Coke and a cigarette. I'm sorry. It's just my day.
I get
And
it.
it's and honestly, I'll trade it for a bag any day. You know what I mean? I'll trade it for a bag and a bottle any day. Give me a Diet Coke and a cigarette and someone to talk to, and I'm cool.
My mom has
Yours
one
is better
my
than
mom
me.
has one parliament every day.
One,
She
like
go,
literally.
she gets ready for work in the morning, goes to work, comes home every day and sits on her little patio in the backyard and has one cigarette. And it's 100, so she'll spread that 100 out through the night. But yeah, just like it's always been her thing, just like one.
Wow.
And it kind of happened when we moved to San Diego, and I think it's because secretly she knows that people judge her in San Diego for
Oh,
smoking.
absolutely.
Like
Wow.
only if we're at like a drinking function where like everyone's dipping out. Like, and when I was little, like when I moved to San Diego, my parents like were so East Coast still, like they were like smoking in the house, like to where I had to be like, my girlfriends can't come over unless you guys start smoking outside.
It is a thing.
And then ever since then, I swear she went down to like one cigarette a day. But yeah, it was a huge thing. Like even in the car, like my dad would be like hotboxing us kids with cigarettes, and my friends probably went home smelling like parliaments, and their parents were probably like, "Who the fuck were you with?"
Like, what bar did you crawl out of? Yes. Like, how dare you bring that stench into this house? And in non-smokers' defense, cigarettes do stink AF. Like they smell so bad.
No, it's the only reason why I started vaping was because I was just like so sick of smelling like a cigarette.
I know it's so annoying, but I just love it so much. I don't know why. I can't let it go.
I think it's the hardest thing, honestly. I think I would have to go to rehab for my vape.
Honestly, I've been to rehab before and I still didn't stop smoking cigarettes.
Right? Because
I stopped everything else but cigarettes, bitch.
Oh my God. Well, before we go into like your life and everything, I was really trying to remember, and I feel like now we're getting to the story where I was blackout drunk because I don't remember.
Oh, no.
No, but I don't remember where you and I met for the first time.
Where did me and Chanel meet for the first time? Oh my God.
Do you remember?
No. No. I feel like it was let me think.
This might be the first episode where neither the guest nor I remember how we met each other. See, you were blacked out too.
Oh, mama. I was in the only K-hole, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I'm like, it was before you moved here. Like maybe it was on the road because
Yeah, so I met you definitely before I moved here. I was meeting, I think it was like I was like working with Jason King at the time. So I was like staying in WeHo on occasion. Where was I going back?
That's what I'm wondering. Whose house did we meet at?
Maybe on a Mickey's night. Did you ever go to Mickey's?
Did I?
I know, right? Right.
Did I?
Like, did you ever go to the place they call the Mickey's?
I didn't miss a Mickey's Monday night for so long that like I'll still like a Monday will come and I'll still be like, do I have to go? And like
Same. Every Monday, I'm like, oh my God, Mondays suck, but
yeah.
Showgirls is tonight. I wonder who's performing.
And Mondays used to be a drag, like the OG logo days. Like that was their like original branding. It was like Mondays are a drag, and that's when Drag Race was on. And so it was always like my drag night, no matter what, for like probably like 10 years. So yes, I've been to Mickey's.
So, maybe we met out. You know what I mean? But I feel like I know that when we really like started connecting was when was doing All Stars and getting ready for All Stars 6. And then like we're here and working with Marco and like obviously met you through them, but also like through the Gettys. I don't know. We've just always crossed paths nonstop. And you've always been just this little cheerful, gorgeous, like lipstick looking lesbian that likes to suck as much dick as I do.
That was the best like intro for me ever.
That's the best way to describe you because like you give up. She's so queer, you guys, that you think she's a lipstick lesbian, but she's gonna shock you when she turns around and not on a wiener.
It's so true. Like sometimes,
I know.
And I think as a pansexual, I've always felt like, yeah, like I never felt like I could pick a lane. Like I remember when I was like, yeah, like because when I was little,
So you are pan. I didn't even ask. I'm just rude. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, no, it's okay. Like I've never even had like a full like I'm coming out or anything like that because I still keep fucking guys until I'm like until I have like a girl or a trans man or a trans woman or somebody that's not a hetero cis man to like show off, then like I never felt, you know what I mean? Because rightfully so, like I've really just like hooked up, you know, like I've hooked up with the trans guy. I've definitely hooked up with some chicks, but I've never gone down on a girl. So that's why.
Really?
So like Magnus Hastings was gonna put me in the queer his queer series. But I told him
Yeah.
I had never gone down on a girl, and he was like, But then he got back to me and told me he would have added me anyway. But look at your face.
Like, but wait,
I'm not kidding.
you haven't eaten a vagina, so you can't be in my book series. I'm sorry. Like, that's the intro too. Like, hi, would you like to be a part of this project I'm doing? Oh wait, I'm sorry. You haven't eaten a vagina. Never mind. You know, it's like, no, queerness is so much larger than that spectrum.
It is, and I love that there's so much more that conversation because, like, that's the thing. I also look at like sexuality and like sexual attraction and romance to me are also different. Like,
Yeah.
I could be attracted to an array of things, but like, it's like the swag, it's the personality, it's like the overall vibe that I'm attracted to. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
attracted to cool, you know?
I wonder if I should have a wig on. That's my thought process right now.
I mean,
Like, should I be wearing hair?
I kind of like that this is like behind the
Is
scenes.
it a little late for that? But like literally, I was like, bitch, I should be wearing hair probably for this.
Well, you could put on some hair if you want, but I
Did
think I mean,
Oh my God. Okay, the comeback. Hold on. Oh yeah, honey. They're little garment bags for wigs.
that's so cute.
This isn't a wig. This is my hair. I paid for it. It's 100% human. I don't wear wigs. I wear human hair to like. So let's see the transformation. Oh,
Within seconds.
I know. It's like, oh my God, humanity.
Oh, she looks beautiful.
Isn't it crazy how much a fucking piece of hair does to a spirit and a body and a face?
It's so true. It's so true. When I had a short bob and bangs, I did not have the confidence I have today.
I know. Honestly, tell me that's not growing out of my head. I mean,
It is. I mean, the science worked. The science worked.
I am literally like I'm wrecking the dolls. I'm just
You might need to log on to OnlyFans after this interview.
my own stands.
Yeah, your only stance. It's beautiful. That hair is beautiful.
No, it is cute. But so I'm like, oh, should I?
Ah! Oh my God, I love it. So we decided that we don't really remember, but that we remember around the time. And honestly, I worked with Jason King a lot during the early days when he was just getting started managing. So it was probably around that time.
Yeah. I don't know. Girl,
Well, let's take it back. Like, there's so much that I don't know about you that I want to know about you. So I want to know, tell me like where you grew up and what you were like as a kid.
Oh my God, I grew up in East Tennessee. I'm a horrible monster as a child.
What do you mean?
No, I mean, I was just like everybody else, girl, just a old homo sapien sexual, needed to be loved, but wasn't loved in East Tennessee kind of child, you know?
Okay.
Like trying to find my place, but didn't have one.
What was the area
well,
like that you grew up in?
rural, is that how you say it?
Rural?
RAL.
Rural?
Yes, that word. It was country, bitch. It was country. It was hick. I didn't see a gay person. There was like two gay people maybe that I hadn't seen my entire life. One was in school and they were fully like bullied and ostracized. So I just lived in this like constant state of fear. So I would like be straight A student, pretending I was straight, dating the chubby cheerleader. I was that kid.
Wait, you dated a chubby cheerleader?
I dated the chubby cheerleader. Mama.
You better work.
Because honestly, I loved her to death. Like I literally was in love with her as a person, but I wanted to be her. The truth is like I was so enthralled, like, but I was just like, oh my God, you are so beautiful and you're thick and you're juicy and you're pretty and your family's nice and you're spiritual and all these things. So like I would fully make out with her as if I was making out with myself.
Who's
would
the
make out, and it was a
lesbian?
while.
Who is the lesbian now?
Oh, mama me. But the tea is though, is it's like thinking back on it, it's like the pressure that this girl probably had to like prove that her boyfriend wasn't a gay Now that I look back on it, because I used to get so bothered. I'd be like, oh my God, we're godly. We're God's children. Why are you being so aggressive? But like, I'm sure behind our backs, her friends are all like, oh my God, you know that? Okay, I'm gonna say my birth name and y'all don't be shady, but it's David. So, they were like, oh my God, David's gay. And she's probably like, no, watch this. And so, like, we would go to like movies in these groups, and the whole time she would be like on me, like, oh, and I would just be like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, it worked. And I would try to like plug, but I just remember it being so horrible.
I need to know how this relationship started.
It started because I was like the cool. Okay, so I played sports, and I was like effeminate, yes, but I also like had a good personality, so I made it work. So I would like play kind of like
Class clown. You would like class clown it.
class clown, yes, but also like I did not grow up with money. How do I change it? Wait, hold on. We're gonna call just might as well make it a part of this. Sure.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, this is the moment.
This is the catch up.
Oh, he speaks French too. No.
For those listening, Eureka sent something in an Uber to someone
No.
and sent it to the wrong address. And he speaks French.
Oh no.
So you have to text. He probably has Google Translate on his phone. Did you give it to an address that you know someone at?
Luckily, no. Why, girl, you're gonna die. I sent it to my plastic surgeon's office.
Wait, it's not like a stool sample, is it?
No, it's clothes. I'm a full-on monster right now. Thank God I'm finally wearing hair.
Yeah, you would be.
Could you imagine if I was doing this bald? He is downstairs right now.
Tell her the car. Tell her the car.
The car is Lexus. 9KT is the first three of the license plate.
Abby, I'm gonna be right back up. Okay. Lexus, and where is he? Like,
He's literally right outside the door.
Okay, I'm walking down.
And there's like a code. Oh my God, you are literally saving my life.
Oh, there's a code, and you have a code.
I think that the clothes are going to another location. It's this 944 error. I was like, oh no. And you know what the craziest thing is? Joey, say hi, because you're also on a podcast right now. This is Joey, the receptionist at Dr. Davis Plastics office. She is literally icon legend.
Hi, Joey. I'm totally going to call you for all of my facial needs.
Everyone say bye, Joey. Bye,
Bye, Joey. Okay, the garment bag has landed.
Yes. Okay. Work. Oh my God. Thank
my
you.
gosh.
Jesus. Okay. Listen, okay. Bye, Vanique. Let me borrow some clothes from their what's it called? Like a retail selection, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a stylist pull, like a fashion house.
Yeah, so a stylist pull. So I had all these amazing, gorgeous garments. I wore one at the queer tees. So I had this like garment bag, and I got it so organized and well together. Mama, that is a story. Okay, so go to Buy Vanique on their website and buy their clothes.
Oh my God, amazing. And maybe that's your sign that you should learn French.
Merci et bonne journée. Which is like, hello, how are you? Or like, no, it's not.
Merci. Merci.
Merci et bonne journée.
Bonne journée.
Bonne journée, yeah.
Let's go back in time. We're back in little old Tennessee. You were popular in school. I
was voted most popular in school.
You were voted most popular.
Oh, baby. I had to, like for real to survive, I had to be liked. One, I was so queer, so different. But I also just became friends with all the cheerleaders because I played sports. But obviously I was like easier and closer with the girls. I had 3 sisters. So like, I also had quick feet is what the coaches would call it.
Okay.
I had quick feet. So like, I was big, but I had quick. Literally, they would be like, "You know what, David? He's kind of gnarly, but he's big and got quick feet." That's what they would say, and and I would be like, "Okay, what?"
Was it
And
like
so
was your town like Friday Night Lights?
kind of, it's just country. Yes, it was very like, and if you play football, then you're cool,
Mm-hmm.
and
And you're tall as
but
fuck. You're tall as fuck.
yeah,
And in high
but
school, that's all that like that's all you needed was to be quick on your feet and tall. And you had all the sisters, so you were like,
all you needed, it wasn't even about being quick on my feet. It was just about I played sports, which automatically made me cool. I pretended to be rich, even though I was poor as fuck. But I got a job at 16, so I worked at McDonald's myself, and I would buy all my own shit. And I would like grow. I faked it till I made it. Girl, I would be wearing Walmart clothes, but I'll make it look like Abercrombie. Girl, I would go rough that shit up myself and everything. I mean, it was strategy to survive. But everyone, I just played the part to be liked. You know what I mean? And loved and to make it. So I became most popular. I was most likely to succeed, like future business leaders of America. I was in all the organizations. I was in theater, drama. I was in theater. So I did like, and I could sing. So that also kind of gets you good points, especially if you play sports and you can sing and you're in theater, then all of a sudden you're even cooler. So like weirdly, it was like the only thing that can mess this up is if you're gay.
mm.
You know? And I did finally come out my senior year because I got a fake ID from my cousin and was just like balls to the wall at the gay bar every chance I got. I was like coming into AP biology with like full on Josie Grossi like stamp on my forehead from the night before, like bitch, black leg liner leftovers. I
When
mean,
did that
it was a
happen?
mess.
So like when did you start partying? And you said it was such a small town. Was there like one gay bar?
Oh God, there's one gay bar in like a 60-mile radius where I'm from. It's called New Beginnings.
That
Swear to
name.
God.
That
Yeah,
name
you should not.
sounds like a sober living house.
Well, it was not a sober living house. It was the first place I ever got drunk AF. And the party was real, but honestly, even then, like I drank more before I turned 21 than when I turned 21. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if anyone else has that story, but it's like, from like, it happened when I was 16. So, yes, I had the girlfriend, but then my senior year, I came out of the closet and she broke up with me because I came out gay and we were Christian. I got like kicked out of the church that we were a part of, like excommunicated basically. I wasn't allowed to go back. Like, or if I was, it just was so uncomfortable. It was like impossible to deal with.
How did you come
My
out?
best
Like
friend's parents.
what was that like what made you say that what made you come out? Do you remember?
Honestly, I had sex with the token gay,
There we
to be
go.
honest.
There we
I,
go.
that's what happened. I didn't even get to like literally come out. It just became word around town like that. It was like, and I came out to my mom, yes, but like she was just, I mean, she was distraught because she's from Germany and she had fought for me so many years because I was lying about it. So she was definitely like beside herself and upset, mostly because she felt like I lied to her and betrayed her and just like had made her look a fool, to be honest. Like, so it was a little weird at first, but we got over that. But yeah, no, I had sex with this guy named Eli. I think his name was Eli.
And that was the
No,
token gay you
Ethan.
told me about in the beginning of the
His name was
story.
Ethan. He was like the weird token gay.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the weird token gay too. So it wasn't even like the cool token gay. It was like I was fully like a predator and like seeked out the weird token gay, which actually seeked out me. And we like were seeing each other, behind like, so in a weird way, I was kind of like the jock to the nerd romance moment
Yeah, that's totally what that
in a
was.
weird way.
And it wasn't that you you
So
were not a predator. Like that was like the only other gay person you knew.
I know I say that being funny. I
I
mean
know,
that farcely. Of
I
course,
know.
it's not funny to say predator, but I live by the great late divine, bitch. I say the most inappropriate shit, so you got to be careful with me.
That I'm just here to remind
To police the listeners.
police the
She
list.
is not a predator. She is not a groomer.
No,
And he came on to me, by the way.
I bet.
But honestly, I didn't
bet.
know that. Like, I wanted to explore, and we just always like caught eyes weirdly.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like, I would laugh at him in art class because he was funny, but also I think secretly I was like, oh my God, like I could fully eat his butt, you know? And one day I don't even know how it happened. It was so crazy. It was just like somehow Ethan ended up at my house. Like maybe he was like hanging out with my sister even. Like I have a twin sister. So I think he like came home with my twin sister one day. And I was like,
I didn't know you had a
I
twin
have a twin
sister.
sister. Yes, her name is Monique.
How have I never met Monique?
Because she stays in Tennessee, girl. She's afraid of the world.
She probably knows what happened to that cheerleader. We should ask her.
No, my God, she probably does now. She hated my friends. So my sister, okay, we can go. I got to tell you the boy story first, and then we'll go there.
Okay.
So basically, anyway, he came over, and I was like, we just like were giving eyes through the house, and like it was so like seedy Parliament House vibes because I like left my bedroom door open, you know what I mean, and like laid on my bed, like in my like jersey and stuff, and was like chilling. It was like very Varsity Blues, and
You had your jersey on. You were giving,
I had my jersey
you
on.
were giving her the fantasy.
And I'm an actor, baby. I've been acting, baby.
Because I fucked a football player from high school, and I remember living for the jersey being on.
Oh, baby. He like, next thing you know, they hear the door. It's like, and he like pokes in. And I was like, hi. And he was like, hey. I was like, come in. And I said, shut the door. And he shuts the door. And the next thing you know, he's like, I mean, it was like instantaneous passion, like young and
built up.
It was just cute, girl. I probably, and girl, this is probably like one of the few times that I was like the top, really, like in playing that role of masculinity. Bitch, I got 3 pumps in and was done. I was a little.
You were a teenager though, like teenagers, literally.
Oh no. Oh, but we went again. We had a great time.
Because you're a teenager. That's what I love about younger men is that like they could fuck and then in like 5 minutes they're like down again. Like if you're still happen to be naked, wild. They're ready. Oh my God.
So back on it, I'm like, girl, next thing you know, it was like hard again. There's cum everywhere. Like it's just like it's wild. How do you stay up that much and come that much in one setting? I don't know. It's wild.
It goes away.
Oh no, it went away. I even took medicine to make it go away.
Thank God. No.
But it was a beautiful time in my life. Like these are great memories that I have now. Like, later in life, I would like question my gender a lot because of these good memories. But at the same time, like I was playing a part. You know what I mean? It was all, which is what kind of made it fun in a way.
Yeah.
It's like it was like these scenarios I was able to create in time for myself and experiences as like versions of me. Like it's weird how like I feel like I've lived so many different lives.
I think that all the time. Like when I look at pictures, like I'll look at someone's pictures online and they like look like they've just evolved into like a different version. Like they're the same person. Like their style hasn't really changed. Their hair is the same. Like if every freaking like 5 to 6 years, like I really do like change like and not like evolve like so many different versions of myself.
Oh, well, I'm like a whole nother kind of person. Like the person that even today, like if I went back to like, let's say, people are like, oh my God, Eureka, I loved you on season 10. Bitch, season 10, Eureka and Eureka today are 2 completely different drag queens.
So different.
2 completely different people. Now, granted, there's like still some like drag love and passion and all that in that person, in me that was there. But girl, the way I see things, the way I think, the way I act, talk, the things I eat, like there's so many, it's wild how we change over time.
It is. But it also like excites me. Like sometimes I do get excited. Like, oh my God, I've changed so much in the last 10 years. Like I'm excited to see like who I am in the next 10 years, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think sometimes too, as queer people, too, like when we are told that we have to act and be a certain way, it's almost like it's like late puberty, to be honest.
We were
It's like
stunted, especially being in
it's
the
stunted
church.
adulty, like it's stunted authenticity. Okay, that's a good way to say it.
It's a great way to say. I think that all the time, like all the church and all of that, that's such adult shit. Like now that I look back, I'm like, my parents were having me do like adult shit as a kid, like think about sinning and all these things I was not even fucking thinking about.
Yeah.
That I was like forced to think about when I was younger. And now that's why like now as an adult, like I can't even like go to church anymore without getting so triggered because I was like, I don't need to, I already studied this. Like you guys tested
I don't want
me.
to burn in hell.
I
don't want to burn in hell.
But it did stunt us. It did for sure stunt us.
It's not just religious trauma, but it's also just like this idea of like, having to play a part for the world to like not want to beat you up every day. Cause I remember getting beat up all the time growing up. When I got to high school, I finally like figured out a way to like, it was either I was going to try to figure out how to be invisible or be invincible. And the only way I could survive, as big as I was and loud and all these things, was to be invincible. So it was like, play the sports, be a part of this circle that you need to be a part of, talk and do all the things that you have to do just to try and survive. So I was that gay, So like I dealt with so much imposter syndrome in my early adulthood because of it, because I just did not know who I was yet. Like
I think I'm just learning who I am, like right now.
But it's like, it sucks because I think that it's an issue for a lot of queer people in general. We waste so much of our time trying to figure out who we are for other people. And that's in general, too, especially if you're just different and whatever. And maybe that's the world. Like, I think we spend so much time instead of using those amazing, meaningful years to figure out who we are, like you're supposed to, right? Like your childhood and your early adulthood is when you're supposed to be learning who you are and experimenting and exploring and all these things. But then when you're someone that's different or you have different thoughts or queer thoughts or this or that, you're so like frowned upon and dismantled by your society and your inner thoughts that you can't explore your truths until like literally you get to a point in your life where you're like, fuck it, I'm either going to get high to be able to explore it so I don't care about that bullshit, or I'm going to like struggle in this way, or I'm going to be abused by it. It's there's so much
it is. No, I mean my sophomore into junior year, like I had a little bit of an eating disorder, like lost like 30 pounds because I wanted to fit in. And I was like sick of being the chubby choir girl that couldn't sing. Like I was only in choir because that's who I like hung out with. Like I couldn't even sing. But then I got skinny, got accepted, and that's where I started to, and my parent, like, I did grow up in like one of that Italian families that was like presentation was everything. Like if you look good, then you're healthy. Like that was always how my like family equated my mental health was how I looked. And if I looked good, be honest,
the better we looked, the worse we probably were off.
that's what I'm at now. It's so true. It's so true.
If y'all are saying, girl, Eureka looks great, what are you talking about? There is pain building deep inside that person. Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. And then for the longest time, like that's what I equated, like, being successful, or, if I was just thin, if I stayed thin. Smoke it up. Smoke it up. You don't need to not smoke.
I was gonna wait, but I'm like, girl, y'all know who I am.
No, that Uber, I mean, it's almost been an hour. That Uber really helped us.
Bitch.
I love that. Wait, so you graduated high school like after coming out. I love that. So at least you got to like you got to say goodbye to your town. Because did you leave after high school?
Oh, yeah. I graduated at 17.
At 7, me too, because I had a summer birthday.
And August 26th.
August 7th. And I moved out before I moved out before I turned 18 because it was like summer started and I was
Same.
like, get me the fuck out of
I
here.
went to summer college. I literally
Dude.
signed up for summer college classes, bitch, to get me out of my house. I said, get me out of
I
here.
didn't even have summer college. I just told my parents I wanted to get like settled before school started.
Bitch, I went right into summer classes, bitch. I did exactly what I had to do. I moved on campus, moved into housing immediately. Girl, I took every fucking student loan I had to take, bitch, to get out of that place. And not because my mother wasn't amazing. It was just the environment that I lived in. My mother was an addict. My mother did have problems, like, but she was generationally in that way. She's from Germany. She's first generation. I'm first generation from my mother's family, from my mother. And so like, but at this point, she's like disabled. She was always a pothead, but she also sold drugs. She's like trying to figure out how to like take care of my sister's kids who was in prison. Like, girl, it was a wild setup.
My dad was a drug addict my whole life. He got sober when I was in high school for like a good like up until the end of his life, he stayed sober. So he stayed sober a long fucking time. But my whole childhood, until I think my dad got sober like my sophomore year. And by that time, like I was I'm already 16 then. My dad was, and that's the hardest part that I'm like learning is like, even though we were still like emotionally neglected, because no matter what, if you're the child of an addict, you're emotionally neglected. So like
they become the emotional focus
because
it's their problems.
It's their problem.
They're constantly emotional. They're erratic, and my mother was very that. Like it was, yes, she would be there for my problems to a point, but she was there to fight. Like if someone was like ready to beat me up for being gay, or someone was like disrespecting the house, she'd beat a bitch up, she'd throw my house.
I always felt safe and protected. A kid stole a quarter from me at the ice cream man when I was a little kid, and my dad went to his house in suburbia San Diego with a metal bat, asking to speak to the kid's father because he told the mother that if the kid was stealing a quarter from me as a child, he was going to be stealing more from me as an adult. Which I mean,
Dad
made fucking sense. Yeah, my dad. But he battled. That's the thing is like when someone's addicted to something, especially like crack, where it's like that, that's their one true love, because it's such a hard addiction. And I get that now. I read a lot of my dad's journals and like I read how much he battled addiction. And so the fact I still even have great memories of with him and everything, like I'm grateful for that. Because some kids don't have that with addict parents.
I have great memories with my mom too. Like she loved me. My grandmother was really the unconditional love that I had. My dad was batshit crazy. He wasn't around. My mother was a single mom. A single mom worked 2 jobs. Never thought she was a survivor. Anyway,
she better work.
Yeah, she was incredible. Her name's Eureka. Actually, that's where I got my name.
Oh, I knew that. That's so beautiful, and I love that. Like the name lives on.
Yeah, and she was the baddest bitch in the world.
Our parents probably would have smoked crack together.
Oh my God. My mom would have fully kicked your dad out of my house, probably. Just for fun. Like, but she was a big German lady too. Like that's the thing is my mom was 6 foot tall, had big curly hair, stocky, a big old butt, honey, big old legs. The men loved her, but bitch, she would dolly whop a motherfucker.
I fucking love that so much.
And she learned how to speak English with army men because she came over with her first husband in the army. And so the reason I cuss so much actually is my mother cussed like an army man. Like she learned English with cussing. So like my mother, girl, every cuss word in the book, bitch, just like I talk, actually. I talk just like her. She'd be like, motherfucker, goddamn motherfucker, bastard, asshole, motherfucker, all that shit. So it's just...
Oh my God. Yeah, no, sometimes I catch myself saying some things like my dad. I'll literally, my brother, it's crazy now, especially now that he's gone. Like my brother will say things and it's like, I literally hear my father in him. It's wild. And we've both lost parents. We have so much more in common than I ever fucking knew. See? That's how we knew. We knew it. We knew it.
Which parent did you lose? Your dad or your mom?
I lost my dad.
See, and I lost my mom, and it's so crazy. They were both crackies.
That's what I mean. And that's what's crazy is like my dad, Didn't do it for the longest time. And then I have this like theory that like when he knew he got cancer, he like started again because
Yeah.
things
I mean,
started to get a little weird back home, and I just was like, I think he's using again, but I don't know. I had just started therapy. I felt like we were getting a good relationship, and then he got cancer, and then he battled
my
that.
mom got cancer too.
What kind of cancer? This is wild.
Throat cancer.
Throat. My dad had liver, but then it went to his bones. It was.
Oh no.
It was the hardest thing I've ever gone through,
It's
for
so
sure.
gross. Seeing your parent go through the suffering of cancer and that process to death is the most horrible thing you could ever witness. Ever.
Especially because we're saying like we both felt so protected by our parents. Like my dad, he was 6 feet, big Italian guy. Your mom, like big, strong woman. Like when you see,
these are like the strongest, most loving people you've ever known in your life. Yeah.
and then they become like children again. It's such a wake up experience.
It was crazy. All that was happening with my mom during season 10.
I don't know how you fucking did that. Like I give you
I was
so much
crazy.
credit. Yeah, you were like numbing a lot. See, this is what was crazy is I was on the road to literally just following in my parents' footsteps. My mom's not a drug addict, but she likes her wine and her parliament. But
Okay.
my mom just liked addicts. She liked the bad boy. And so I see a lot of that in myself. And then
And you're very that girl.
I'm very that girl. Like I want to
You're
like
a boy
help
that's
you.
gonna be rude to you.
Yeah, and that I'll take care of, and like, you know, and that's why I'm trying to like, I'm really trying to break that habit. But I felt like I had to do work on myself first because I like my dad, like a lot of like demons that I didn't even realize I was numbing. I just thought I was a party girl. And now that I'm like out of the party as much and I'm not doing hard drugs and I'm just drinking wine these days. It's been the first time that I'm like, oh, I guess I really was numbing all those years. And now I'm trying to track back to when it started. And I'm like, I'm really just trying to figure out myself because there was a time when I didn't need stuff to feel good. You know, there was a time in our lives when we did feel good and we didn't need other stuff to feel good, you know?
Absolutely. There was a time I didn't need attention or food or this or like there's so many things.
I know.
Drugs,
I get it.
alcohol, like, and I'm living a sober life right now too. Well, not too, but I'm living sober. And through recovery, I've learned how to process a lot of that past stuff, which has been really great for me. It's been important for my growth. I think honestly, I was at a point of no return with my trauma. It just like piled on and piled on and piled on for so many years to a point where I was like still playing this part that I needed to succeed because my mother was going to die. And then I lost her and then I lost my grandmother in the same year. It was just like wild when like there's these people in when you grow up or like even I don't know, it was like any reason for living or safety in this world where I never felt like I belonged or safe in anyway was gone. It was like, whoa, what do I do now?
What do I know? Because that's how my dad, like getting a compliment from my father was like made my whole day. Up until the day he died, I showed up to his house every day with a full face and my hair done because I always presented my best self to my father. So when that goes away, you're like, wait a minute. So who am I trying to impress now? You know?
It's the point. Exactly.
And so that's why I had to start. That's why I just woke up the other, like 3 months ago. And I'm like, why? Like, I need to do it. I need to be impressing myself. Like, I want me to be proud of me. It's not for anyone else anymore. And even when I catch myself like wanting to brag to my mom about something, I'm trying not even to do that because it's like, I want to like do it all for myself right now. Is where I'm at.
Right, not for the validation or reassurance, but girl, at the same time, get your validation, your reassurance. That's just another way for us to police ourselves because for some reason we convince ourselves that the way we are is wrong. And that's because that's a part of our trauma. A part of our trauma has built our brain. And this is for anyone that deals with suffrage or trauma. The T is, bitch, feel your motherfucking feelings and allow yourself to be who you are. Stop policing the emotions and the way that you process things, because that makes you crazy or a bad person or unworthy of love or not in place. No, bitch, if you're doing better and you noticeably feel better and know that things in your life are going better because you've made these changes, that's enough reassurance. But bitch, if you need it from someone else, get that shit so you continue to do it, you know?
That's why I started to go to Barney's Beanery. But that's
Good.
why I had to get out of the gay bar, because it was like the gay bar to me became that parent that like you think is just telling you you're pretty because they're your parent. That's how it got to me in WeHo, because I had done it for so long.
Yeah.
And that was started like part of the reason why I loved going out in WeHo, because I was like, I could go out alone on a Monday night and I am going to get my cup filled to the brim. Like, I found out like gay men love me and think I'm beautiful, and they're telling me this, and they don't want to fuck me. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. But then
this is why everyone should go to the gay bars and come see us and see drag queens, etc. But at the same time, go ahead.
But then I did that for 14 years, and then I woke up one day and I'm like, but like a straight guy hasn't told me I'm hot in probably 5 years. Like, I gotta get my ass to the dive bar and remind myself who the fuck I am, you know?
Well, yeah, and like remind yourself that you're still attractive in that way. Like it definitely probably presents a mental block, I'm sure, when you're like around. Because the thing is, like, gay men are very attractive. Like, obviously, they're beautiful men. You know what I mean? They take well good care of themselves. They're grooming. Like, they're attractive men. Like, I find gay men attractive too. I mean, I'm not trying to fuck them necessarily, but some of them I would let them. They're hot.
And especially in the beginning, when you're all like, you're never not used to all this attention, like you really think you're gonna turn a gay guy, and you don't. Then you get over that phase. Then you get over that phase of like,
oh, I've been through that phase too, where I'm like, I swear, I'm just trans, girl. I still got to, you know.
yeah.
And luckily, I have something working for me because I still have a penis.
Fuck
You know what I mean?
I used to
And
think
it's
that.
still hard to turn them, girl. It's still hard to turn them.
So drag queen back in the day was like, Chanel, you should just get a dick and call it a fucking day.
But it don't work as well either. Girl,
No.
They want a boy. They want men, honey. They want men just like
I know. It's so true.
Women, but you know,
I know.
they don't.
We want.
And that's what reminds me that I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's so true. You are. Fuck yeah. Wait, so when did you start playing with the idea that you were trans in your head?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I knew ever since I was like young. I was like the only boy in the house with 3 girls, and I just never understood why I had more fashion sense or like desire to wear makeup or like than anyone in my house. And I was just like, you all have the opportunity and option to wear these gorgeous things. What are we doing with ourselves? It was so, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so it started with like me trying to like push them, like, oh, I'll help you get ready. I'll help you this. I'll help you that. I'll help you. Oh, to like eventually I'm like wearing my mama's clothes when she's not around, stretching out the negligees, and she was mad.
Did you
to,
blame
like,
it on your sister?
oh no, I got caught, boots. Like, and maybe because I wanted to too. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to see how people would. Honestly, I wanted to be told I was pretty. You know, I wanted her to be like, well, that looks good on you. That was not the response I got normally.
A sweet angel. Were you like dancing around and she walked in on you?
Oh my God, I was fully like, I had duct taped a towel to my head so that I could fling it like it was hair, you know?
And you
Fully
thought
duct taped it.
about not wearing hair in this interview.
I know. 'Cause you've seen me play with my hair. No, that's why, I mean, honestly, I did the no hair at the beginning only because I am trying to force myself to be confident enough to be able to. Because before, like even before my head shaved and stuff like that, like I'd be teared up if I thought someone was gonna see me like that. But bitch, I'm in a new place in my life. I don't give a fuck.
I have no foundation on right now.
Fuck you. How about that?
So, why? Whenever I tell people that, I think they're gonna tell me I'm brave, and really, they're like, "Fuck off," because your skin looks.
Yeah,
like
your skin looks great. First of all, and you're not brave, bitch. You're beautiful. Like, Like it makes me want to do this.
My therapist gets so mad at me. I'll like always apologize for my appearance, like because I don't get ready for her. It's like natural in me. Like, isn't that so sad? Like, I will be like, I'm sorry I look like this. Like, it affects her at fucking all. She's like, I'm good, but I think.
What do you mean? Like you look like this? Like what you look like right now? You go to therapy?
Well, maybe like my hair will be like more messy, and maybe I didn't put on
Okay.
mascara. Like, but it's still like I'm working with the same product.
Okay,
And
but you know
yeah, and
why
I'll
I'm so
apologize
pro?
to her.
Don't, because you know why I'm pro therapy? I'm pro like paying someone to talk to you because bitch, you're paying that bitch to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes away the, you know how like there's so much guilt sometimes, I think, when we're like venting to our friends and unloading and all these things.
Yes, you're
And it
always
comes
like,
with
did
a
I?
price. It comes with a price. Like, am I affecting their lives? Are they gonna try to affect mine? Like there's all these questions. But then bitch, if you have a therapist, that bitch is getting paid to hear your shit.
She has to.
Yeah, and it even has to. They chose to show up
They chose to show
and
up.
listen to your shit for your 75 or 79.99, whatever it is that says. And but it is worth every penny because the mindlessness of being able to release the shit that sometimes we just gotta get off our chest as people and to rummage through the trauma thoughts that we want to go through that is so quickly put off on our friends and people around us. You know what I'm saying? Which creates tension in your relationships and people don't realize
No, it full
with social
on.
media, because I was a go to social media girl for so long.
Yeah, and just like read quotes, and really you're not healing anything. You're just like going into a deeper spiral. I had this girlfriend who I was like, we could do all this therapy talk that we want in the DM, but like you got to go to therapy because she used to be like, this is trickle down therapy, and I'm like, no, but I really want you to get what I'm getting out of it, and like anyone younger listening, like it's like when you're younger, like yes, like your friends have all the time in the world, everyone is like. People like the drama, they want to be included, but like as you get older, like
Kind of,
everyone's got their
kind of. Yeah.
everyone's got their own fucking shit, and like they don't need to hear me spiraling once a week, you know. And with a professional one, I know they're unbiased, like they don't also like they don't also have to like see me out next weekend. Like once the Zoom's over, that's the end. I see her until my next session.
Exactly.
I don't even save her phone. I have her phone number like saved as something else, so I can't just like text her all the time and unload on her because
Oh, good.
I like to
Get those
save
cards,
it.
but
Well, and I like to save it. So like whenever I'm overthinking something, like now I try to like put it in a notepad so that. And then I don't know, I have this sense of calmness now, like, oh, we'll just talk about it on Tuesday. Rather than me spiraling about it now, which I normally would have done because I don't have that safety net of therapy. Like now I'll be like, my brain almost like relaxes a little because it's like, oh no, we'll just unload that on Tuesday and see, you know, why you're being a jealous cunt right now. You know?
I love that because honestly, I've been like dealing with this a little bit. I'm lucky because right now I have a friend that we kind of like therapy each other because I'm in between therapists, but I miss it so much and I can literally tell a difference. But I mean, honestly, but with the recovery community, that's what I get from meetings.
Well,
The reason
recovery
I go,
is like built
it's
when
group therapy.
that's
I mean,
my
it's literally
dad.
group therapy.
That's what I used to
Yeah.
tell my dad. I'm like, you went to therapy. It was just AA, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, and I do go to AA because I need to be in that environment and have that little therapy session, but also like be reminded there are other people out there that have been just as wild as me. It's humanizing, you know, and you like learn that like, okay, maybe, and also honestly, I'm gonna be real. Sometimes hearing some of their crazy ass stories make you realize you're not nearly as wild as you thought you were. And so as messy as it might be, I'm so blessed that there are crazier crackheads out there than me.
Yes. I I seek that validation in therapy all the time. I'll be like, am I the only person that's told you that before?
Right.
And
I know.
she'll be like, no. Or
No,
or
bitch.
sometimes it's the other way. Sometimes I'll tell her something like not thinking it was trauma, and she'll be like, so you were raped? like it'll be
I
like,
know,
like,
right? You're like, wait,
she's like,
you
that's
know
not
that's
okay.
not okay, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I thought that was totally normal. But it also helps you like understand. You're talking about what we were talking about and like understanding yourself. Like,
Oh.
your friends are never gonna, like, no one's ever gonna see you unless you see yourself. And so a lot of times I always felt like no one sees me or understands me, but it was because I didn't understand myself.
No, you're so when you say that, bitch, you can say it again for the back row, bitch. Everyone in the world needs to hear that. Even myself, like I feel like I'm just now getting to a point where, and it's because I'm living authentically as a trans woman and accepting like the ways and processing that I think, also accepting the fact that, like, yes, I have fully been a drug addict in my life. I am still an addict in my mind. Like I have an addictive personality. So I need to learn how to manage that. I've had to learn how to have self-control. I've always been a binge type person, whether it's like success or food or TV or people or drugs or whatever the case may be. I'm a I'm a thrill enthusiast, because right, because I need to like somehow keep my mind busy at all times so that I'm not reflecting or like revisiting some of that crazy ass shit.
That's what it
But
is.
I fully, I deserve every bit of batshit crazy that I am, and I own it. Like I earned it, is what I meant to say, not deserve. I've earned my place in this AA meeting. I've learned my place. I've earned my place in this like life as a trans woman. I've earned my space in this world. I've earned it by existing, by making it through the crazy shit that I've been through. You know what I'm saying? So cute. Like we've all earned the place that we are by just existing and powering through. Life is so fucking hard for every single person. And we're quick to judge. And of course, like if you let your laundry out there, people are gonna talk about it. No, that's just the tea. So girl, therapy's nice. Maybe you don't gotta tell the whole world. I like telling the whole world all my shit, which is the problem sometimes.
No,
Instead of
I
like
just can't
actually
lie, but
dealing with it.
it's probably because of it all has to do with like how we grew up and like chaos felt safe, like
Yes.
we were in unhealthy situations, and so now as adults like unhealthy situations feel safe to us. Like
Oh,
my therapist
100.
tells me all the time, she's like, you're bored because like your life is like normal right now. And so it feels boring to you. Yeah.
Yes, I'm crazy. I earned it. I love it. I'm just like learning how to love it. And not even that I'm crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think that you're crazy.
No,
I think crazy is like a shitty word, even.
I think it is
I'm
too.
offended by it, but it's like it's so unnecessary because it's just a reason to diminish someone's emotional position on a topic. That's what the term crazy is for me.
Hmm. I'm
Or it's a reason
sensitive.
to,
And I'm like just getting to that.
yeah.
I've always been a sensitive person. But I always used to look at that like it was a negative. Like, oh, like I'm an overreactor. Like, no, I'm not an overreactor. I'm just like highly fucking sensitive and didn't know how to process emotions in my nervous system. And so I used to react crazy or like get wasted and like mask it, And like now I'm trying to
Cool.
like I'm really trying. Every day's a
Also,
battle.
don't you feel like, you go through so many years of pretending that you can handle it and holding your fucking breath and not saying anything and not reacting and not to when you get to a point like when you get to a point in your adulthood where you're like, no, bitch, I'm not putting up with this shit. And I'm going to say exactly how I feel when I feel it and how I feel it because I just can't take it anymore. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I want those friends in my life on a daily. Like my favorite friends are like literally, they'll be like, good morning. And I'm like, fuck you. And they're like, fuck you too, you fat whore. I'm like, that's the friends that I need at my house on a daily because they know I'm not serious, but it is nice just to tell someone to fuck off,
Yes.
you know?
It really is.
Like, because bitch, life is hard. Life is lifing on a daily.
It is. And I don't know. I really do think our outlook, I think us losing our parents greatly like affected us in like almost a positive
Oh,
way. Like it woke us up. And I
yes.
think about that all the time. Like
Well, and now we
I
have guardian
never
angels.
would want to go through that again. And I never would want to have ever lived through that again. But like, it woke me the fuck up. You know, it really did.
Yeah.
And it made me realize like how short life is and why do I want to spend it stressed? Like, I used to stress about everything I had to be in control of. Like, I realized it was like a constant, like, I have to be in control of everything. Yet I did all these things to make me out of control, which is like interesting. But like,
I feel like you're talking about my life, but continue, please.
no, and like down to like, if there was an event, like I would put all my focus on like everything external, like the outfit, like, oh my God, I have to run all over and drive myself crazy because I need this outfit and the makeup. And if like one thing went wrong, oh, this night is going to be shitty now. And now I'm like, I'm just happy to fucking be here. And if I wake up and don't cry, like I wake up and I don't cry now and I get out of the house. And like, I just like really like Chanel 3 years ago, I really thought 3 years ago, this was my new normal. Like, I'm just going to cry on the couch now. Like, this is what I do. But like, it does get better. Like, it really does. But I had to do it. No one's going to do it for you. And that's another thing is I always had this like savior complex. Like, I always thought that like Prince Charming was going to come and swoop me on his horse and he was going to have like a normal family and I was going to have a normal life. And then like,
we're waiting for your dad to show up, but like the version that you always dreamed of, right? Like, I think me too, like a parent of some sort, like you're waiting for the dream parental figure, but although it's a partner, right? Like we create like
it's the same.
What we want in a loved one is like basically what we wanted when we were a child. That's kind of, I think that's how it goes. Like your design. And it's like you're still yearning. It's that inner child still like yearning for that love. And so once you like realize that you can push past that and you can be that for yourself.
That's it.
You can love your inner child. And like, I just watched Rocket Man again with a friend of mine.
I love that movie.
About John. And there's a scene at the end of the movie where his kid version of himself is like, hey, you forgot about me. And he walks up and he hugs the kid version of himself. And that's like, that was the final moment of his whole story, was realizing like he had the power to love that inner child that was so desperate to be loved. And that's what we have to figure out as people of difference or people that go through trauma or people that lose people. It's just, and it's so hard. And you got to try to do it daily. You're right. The daily thing you're talking about.
It has to be daily because you skip a day. Meditation. The combination of meditation and therapy, I credit for like any of my inner work because I never sat with myself in my head. It was always like, I thought like smoking a joint and like that was, you know, and that still helps me.
Right.
But I don't like in the morning, like just going inside my head and cause that's when I find it's so weird, like learning about yourself, like you'll start to see your patterns. Like the morning is when I'm the most vulnerable. That's when I like wake up and I'm like, I feel like a lone child, but I have this baby picture of me on my like get ready mirror. And every day and it's like this really happy picture of me. And whenever I have like internal dialogue that's mean to myself, I tell myself like I'm just being mean to that little girl. And then that gets me to like get my shit together real quick. Cause I'm like, think about being mean to that cute little baby. And then
oh my God, I need to remember that.
Yeah.
I'm so mean to myself.
I know. And I grew up like, that's how, I mean, me and all my girlfriends are. And like, I know, and now I'll notice it externally. Like I'll notice my girlfriends being really hard on themselves. And I just think of them as like little babies. Write it down.
I'm a post-it note girl. I'm literally.
Yeah, write it down and find like a cute baby picture of yourself.
Oh my God, I'm doing it. That is such a good idea.
And especially in the mirror, because that's like the first mirror you go to in the morning is the one that you should put it on, because that's usually like the first time you're mean to yourself in the morning. Yeah, and I'll be like, fuck no. Like that little girl is so proud of me. I'm like living independently in Los Angeles and I'm doing like everything I wanted to do. And like, she's fucking proud of me. She wouldn't want to be mean to herself. Yeah.
Right.
We have to stop being mean to ourselves because that has so much to do with it.
I love that because, recently, I had a rough like couple years where I was like really battling addiction after my mother and grandmother passed away. And I was really being self-destructive in my life, like ready to destroy like my career, my relationships, anything possible because I just didn't feel like I deserved any of it. And as I've come out of it and through recovery and through just finding peace within myself and my relationships and all that above, that is the biggest thing is me realizing like, you know what? No, I don't have to be that like me, me 10 years ago, like would be gagged that I am who I am today, or that I have what I have, or that I have the security or the home or even the cute apartment, or there's something that you have better than you had then. And if you're in a situation where you're worse off, then it's even more important for you to find that within yourself and get help. Like that's the biggest thing is like people don't want to talk about the getting help part so much. And people are ostracized. Like I was ostracized. Like I felt even, I don't want to say fired, but like it definitely hindered my working whenever I asked for help and had to go to rehab and stuff like that because puts this image on you like and there is still a stigma on addicts and the addiction, but bitch, I don't regret being public and asking for help a moment because it saved my motherfucking life. And I would never have reached this point of like self-reassurance, self-love, like self-authenticity, like true serenity if I wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And asking for help is the easiest thing to do, but it's the hardest thing for people to do because of the repercussions they feel like they have to endure. But bitch, I'm on here to tell all y'all it is worth it. And anybody who wants to hold it against you, girl, fuck them. They ain't yours. They're not your people. That ain't your job that
Exactly.
you needed. You don't need that
And
job. You
get
don't need
ahead of it. The
people.
only thing I regret about therapy is not starting it in high school. What, like, you know what I mean? That's like my
I
only
regret
regret
not
of
starting it in, yes, like
elementary school. Like, no,
yes, like
the like we
take me to
needed
the
it.
therapist. Those moments when I was mad they was taking me to the social services, bitch, I should have been enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly, because we could have like better, because then you could even better explain what you were feeling or what you
yeah,
were going through. You would have like an explanation for it, but you were like trying to like be this other person while like it was just all masking. And similar with me, I mean, we're gonna get into it eventually, but like my family was in the witness protection. I could talk about it
what?
now. My dad is passed. That is a whole other
Right.
podcast that we're gonna start. But like I was taught to mask everything since I was like a
Yeah.
little girl. Like everything was a lie. So like it took me getting the call that my dad had cancer to where I was like, wait a minute. Like I just had this like vision of the next like year of my life. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to cope with losing him. So I have like, as long as my dad has to live, that's how long I have to get to a better place than today. Cause I was like, if
Yeah.
it happened today, I'm not okay. But I have a couple months, like, let me do everything. I did Reiki, I did therapy, I started meditating. I was like, let me do everything that'll like help me when this actually happens.
Oh, I wish I would have done anything, bitch. I was like, work, make the money, take care of everyone, cover it up with money, cover it up
Fame,
with
but you were getting fame, and fame is a hard thing, Eureka, because it's like this, you're getting that validation and that love that you were desperately seeking. So your
I was
body.
not, bitch. The fans were hating me, bitch. They were so mean to me. I was the fat girl, bitch. I mean, I was loved, but at the same time, like, bitch, I was attacked so much and I took it so personal, not realizing
So
that.
drugs were all you could turn to. Like I
But
didn't.
it was just hard because I took it personally because I didn't realize that I was also processing all this other stuff happening. And it was something for me to latch on that made sense. Like, they hate me, so I should hate myself. No, maybe I'm just sad and processing that my mom's like suffering with cancer.
No, that's
And
why I thought I'm just a raging bitch now. Like this is just who I am. Like I'm just going to be that girl that cries at parties. And really I was like battling. I mean, even before my dad got sick, it was like a constant, it was this battle that I was having within myself about my family and my upbringing and all of that. And I get it. I get where you're coming from. And I heard this comic say the other day, like, or someone talk about it the other day, that like, until you have the tools, like you use what tools you have. And so sometimes like drugs and alcohol do save you, because it's like I think it was actually RuPaul.
Oh,
RuPaul was
mama,
talking about this, but he was like, I don't regret the drugs at all, because that saved
no.
my life.
I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, bitch. I loved drugs more than I loved myself. That became the problem.
That's the
But
problem.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And it only lasts a certain amount of time, and that's what
It
RuPaul
only
was
lasts
saying. And
so long
that's what he was saying in the
until
interview.
the reality and the truth sinks in that it's not as warm as a real hug. It's
Yeah.
just
Like
not.
it's just not, yeah. And then once
And
the
I don't like. I just want to make it clear. I'm not anti-drugs. I'm anti. I'm anti-lace drugs. I'm anti-fentanyl. I'm anti unsafety, but I'm not anti-drugs. I think that there are exploration and partying and fun to be had that is safe and responsible, even though like there's and we are normalizing things more and more as we like progress as a society because there's really no choice because more and more people are doing drugs. But
I just don't need
at
to
the
be
same
around
time,
abuse. Like that's where I look at it, and like me and you, like we
yeah,
deserve this point in our life. We were the children of addicts. We became addicts ourselves, and now like I look at it like I deserve better. Like
generational addiction, generational,
yeah, I deserve
generational.
better. I don't want to be around. To be honest, like addiction now makes me uncomfortable because like I notice it so much now. Like, and
Mhm.
I don't want to be around it because it triggers me back to being a little girl. And like
Yeah.
even though like I didn't have like physical abuse or anything like that, I just
Yeah.
feel like at this point in my life, like I deserve better.
I had all the above, girl. I had the mental, physical, sexual, all the abuse you can think of, but none of it holds a candle to the self-inflicted, self-destruction, abusive behavior that you inflict on yourself when you are riddled with addiction. The demon that comes when you're like literally like going through real addiction, which becomes it gets to a point where like you physically have to have something move the next day and not be sick so that you can continue working and continue doing. It's honestly, it's not something you can control. And it is something that you absolutely have to get help with. I don't know. It's just, it is a nasty thing. So it's like, do you even get started at all? At this point now, if I get drunk, bitch, it takes me 3 days to recover. I don't have 3 days.
No, and that's another. And talk about us being like hard on ourselves. Now I've gotten to that point where yeah,
Mm-mm.
I don't want to lay on the couch. But after like overcoming this like bad depression I've had like the past couple of years, like now I'm like, I know the depression just comes from drinking. Like when I'm
Well,
sober
just add,
and working
yeah.
out and drinking my iced coffees. So now I like, one day I probably will just have to stop drinking entirely, but
I mean, I don't think that that's necessary if you enjoy your wine and all that. It's still a way
just
to like
wine, no hard alcohol,
thing,
no
honestly.
tequila. But yeah, I
And if
want
one night you decide I'm gonna go crazy with this tequila and you can handle it, and so there's this other thing too. A friend of mine was mentioning it that was a social media thing that I really enjoyed and appreciated. It's like, bitch, if you used to drink a fifth of tequila, but now you just have a shot every now and then, congratulations.
right. I
If
think about that.
if you used to go into a K-hole within 30 minutes of being at the club, but now you just have a bump or two to get you through the night, congratulations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're already doing the work. You're
I'm a
good.
girl. I used to
You
be.
know?
I would go out on Friday and come home Sunday evening.
Yeah, bitch. If you, and honestly, also, if you like to go out and party all fucking weekend long, but you take care of business Monday through Friday, you have figured it out. You know what I'm saying? You have figured out a rhythm that works for you.
Well, so where are you at today?
What do you mean?
What's the latest with you? Where are you at today?
Okay, hold on. Actually, I'll pull up my little app.
I just meant like emotionally.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm emotionally in a good place. You know what I mean? I'm working. I know that like staying busy is where I find comfort and happiness. I know that like my recovery is important to me. You know, I'm hold on, let me see here. Let me look at this. Oh, so I'm on 46 days since I last like did anything relapse wise. Like, I mean, and I don't even call it a relapse. It's like, but I am the kind of girl that's like, I'll get a couple months in and I'm like, oh, I want to have a drink tonight. Or like, oh, I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm going to try this bump. And then as soon as I do, I'm like, oh God, this is an awful decision. I don't want to be doing this. That's because for me personally, my anxiety is so fueled by it. It doesn't help me anymore as much as like being present and seeing what's happening around me and being in the moment because I'm situating my environment to a place where I want to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just existing. Now I've been in recovery for over 2 years, and I've had longer stints of like sobriety and shorter stints and I've had my relapses, but um, they get less intense as time goes on.
Well, that's what I was
Those
gonna
little
say.
moments.
The relapse, I mean, like keep coming back is like the AA saying because that's like
Yeah.
that was meant for the relapsers. Like the fact of just going back and knowing that you want to be better is all you could do in
Yeah.
this life is to want to be a better version of the person you are today.
And you want safety and you want happiness. And it's like so and I don't girl, and honestly, I was so scared and worried before, like, oh, what if someone knows that I relapsed? Or what if someone knows that I haven't been sober for 2 years forward and all this? Or like, what if I decide one day that I can, and they say even in the program, and this is not my place to voice necessarily, but I will say it. Even in the program, they say if you can be a class act and have a drink here and there and put it down, then by all means go enjoy your life and go do your thing. But the truth is, like, I know I'm not that person.
You're not.
You
No,
know?
my dad would say that all the time. He's like,
I don't know when I'll be that person or if I will.
no, he always said alcohol wasn't the problem. It was the cocaine because like he could drink, but when he started to drink, he would want the cocaine or the hard drugs.
Yeah.
And so it was, if he could just drink the beer, he's like, I would have been fine with
Right.
fucking that. It's
If I
that,
could, that's how I am. If I could have the cocktail and that be
but you
it,
can't. You
it's the
can't.
gateway for
You're
me.
a go big
Oh,
or go home, and you know that this is the best version of yourself.
not you know me well
I
enough to know, girl, I know you, bitch. You can't stop at a cocktail.
Not
But
right
also,
now. It's also like it's also like very soon. So if like you want, I think like it's just hard right now.
well, no, I mean, I've been in recovery long enough to where, like, if I have a drink here and there, I don't really hold that to me as much of a
No,
relapse
don't,
as much
and
as I
don't beat
do.
yourself up.
For me, it's like if I go on a bender, that's a relapse to me, you know?
No, yeah.
And I've had explorative moments where I'm like, oh, I want to do this. And then I realize like, oh, that bump did nothing but make me feel terrible, or that drink did nothing but like make me want to like chase something more. Then I remove myself from the situation and I move on and I don't hold myself hostage for it. And really it's just about showing up. Once
No,
you
I'm
get to a
being
point where you're like,
self-aware. You're self-aware now.
self-aware, yes, but really, if you want to make your life better, if you've gone through shit and you've like put people through shit, the biggest advice I can give you is be accountable and show up. Just start showing up in your life because what addiction and hiding, it's about hiding yourself and you stop showing up and you avoid and all those things. So the best way to show people that you're doing better and to show yourself is just continue to show up. And show up and don't worry about how they're seeing you or viewing you. Just show up and do your best and the energy, the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, will work out in your favor because that's the path you're supposed to be walking on. Whether the best version you're doing in that moment is the version of you that has a buzz and is still moving forward, or the version of you that is sober and still moving forward without causing issues and showing up, then bitch, do what you got to do. For me, it's this, and I'm happy to be like making is as hard as it is in the morning, sometimes making it to the meetings that I schedule and set. And like, even with our podcast, we got pushed off so much, but it's like, I will not allow this to go to a point where it just doesn't happen, which is what I would have let happen before. But those are the moments where I get to cherish like me doing better are the moments literally that I just show up instead of avoid and or not show up altogether. No call, no show is when you know bitches at her worst.
Well, that's how. No, that's when I start canceling all my appointments. That's when I know that I need a reality check on my life. Because
If you're
I was that
rescheduling,
girl. Because I was that girl.
yeah.
That's how I got my way as a kid. Like I would make my mom sign me up for all this stuff, and then I would be like, I don't want to go today, and I'd really just want to like sit home and fucking watch TV. Like,
Yeah, of course.
and so
That's called
now as an
depression.
adult. Exactly. Isn't that crazy? So like I had so much signs of depression as a kid and like they just thought I liked to watch a lot of TV. My grandma's like,
Well, it's an escape, you know.
it
TV's
was
an
escape.
from
That was my safe, that's where I felt safest at home. I felt like protected and leaving.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I agree with you to a point, but you know what I've realized too is I think honestly, we felt like they were safer if we were there watching them.
Oh my God. And this is so weird, but I'm having deja vu right now.
Okay, good, because that's so real. If you think, and you probably dreamed about it because it's a reality that you're like trying to remind yourself of. When we have addict parents as children, you become the parent. And so you miss out on your childhood. And what causes us to fall into that like bratty toddler state of like partying and addiction and needing to fuel that youngin inside of us is because we lost our childhood.
You're so fucking wise, and it's so true. No, I thought if I was home, my dad's not going to do crack because he has to be a dad.
Or at least you'll be able to know that he's not somewhere doing something else or dying or eye on him. You know what I mean?
No, and
'Cause
my mom used to put that almost pressure on us and without even knowing it. God bless her. She did not know she was doing this because
course.
she had addict parents as well. So she thought, this is what you do.
Yeah. 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 Generational.
We take care of daddy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just let him know that you love him so that he knows life's still important and it becomes your responsibility. Now, I saw a meme. It was like, I think August Getty actually shared this, and I think he's open about his situation. It's not,
yeah, he's openly sober.
but he shared something where it was like, at any age, kids want their parents to be sober. At any age, you have a better parent sober, and that is true, especially if you have an addict parent. You know,
Or I used to like pray that like my parents could be normal at a party. Like we would have these parties, and then then my dad would go off on a bender, and I would just like always want us to have like a normal party where like the party ended and we went to bed, but it was never the party never.
I was convinced I was adopted. I was fully convinced that I was stolen from the little hamper I was supposed to be in at the hospital and brought home to the wrong family. Except when it came to my mother and my grandmother, because I was so connected to them. So I was like, when I had a twin sister, so I guess that was the
Yeah.
sign. But
I was gonna say you had a fucking twin.
damn you. So we were, because she definitely looks like she fits.
Oh my God. You're projecting onto your parent sister now.
No, my sister's amazing.
No,
but
I love it.
too. You know, I mean, it's like it's crazy. My whole family and even my older sister's kids, like me and my twin sister did the best we could raising them basically with our mother dying and stuff. And they're fucked up to death too. And I'm over here just like, they call me or they have their issues, and I'm just like, you know what? It tracks.
Yeah.
The best thing I can do is just let you know I'm here and I love you. And when you need me, let me know. I probably got some advice you don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my mom and grandma don't know what to do without the chaos anymore. To where like my mom will like want to create these like, oh my end of the world, and I'm like, no, we don't have a drug addict to worry about anymore. Like I always have to be like, you're safe, like everything's fine. And now she's like, it's made her so paranoid on life, and I'm like, no, life is good now, no stress.
My sister's the same way, and she's learning too. She's sober as well, which is really amazing.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And but she doesn't work a program. She doesn't do therapy, and she also is an anti-vaxxer. So honestly, she's a monster. So
As long as she doesn't think
So-
the earth is flat, I think we're good.
Honestly, I'm not sure what she thinks about the shape of the world yet. I stop at anti-vaxxer and I'm like, okay, girl, how's your day? Let's move on.
The anti-vaxxer movement, that's a whole podcast in itself.
Bro.
We've almost gone 2 hours. This was so fun.
Yeah, let's get it. I gotta go.
I know.
Wait, I can talk to you all day.
We trauma dumped hard. We are so connected now.
I love you. I'm really glad I got to do this.
I know. I had so much fun, and I feel like we really like got to know each other better.
Me too. And honestly, we'll need to spend more time together outside of this too.
Mm-hmm. I love you so much. I like to end each podcast with the queen telling me to shut up, but
Okay.
okay.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Shut up, Chanel. Jesus Christ. Are you triggered? No, don't shut up too much. I actually like it when you talk, but for now, we really got to go because we've been talking forever. Shut up. Well, I'll call you later. Bye.
I love you so much. I have to pee so bad. I love you.
Okay, go
I'm going to
pee.
text you. I love
Do
you.
your thing.
I
Bye.
love you.